Okay, this is gonna be a short video on um okay, so you are currently facing housing evictions and homelessness and etc. due to what I'm assuming is this is for people with financial problems. So for whatever reason, and trust me, um a person's finances and everything has a lot more to do with the economy than it does with anything else. So, look, if the economy is suffering, then your job's gonna suffer, right? Like, the unemployment and housing and the homeless stuff you see on the streets, that kind of stuff, it means there's a problem with the economy. As in, there's too many crimes and not enough money being made for diplomatic relations, and maybe there's problems in other countries that they're excessively depending on. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm sorry you don't get a new PlayStation this year. Your dad didn't get his bonus, so now the entire family feels the effect of him not getting the bonus by not having the new PlayStation or whatever. Sorry I can't pick you up from school. I have to sell the car to purchase food for you because of my drug addiction. Thus, like, oh, what happened to the car? I sold it for drug money because I'm a drug addict. And you're like, Mom, why'd you do that? And then they're like, it's because I needed the drugs. Look, at least you have food to eat, right? Yeah, that's. There's a guy who tried to accuse me of me doing that, but I'm like, are you talking about your mom? Did your mom do that to you? Did you just start figuring out your mom was abusing you and neglecting you as a kid? And that's why you ended up that way in a homeless shelter thinking those things were okay because you didn't want to say your mom's a bitch, even though she is, because that's a bitch move. And you didn't want to tell her that she was being, you didn't want to, like, leave her and you didn't call CPS on her even though you're supposed to. You're supposed to call the police and do something. So you didn't do any of that. This is weird. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, that's what they were doing. And I was like, so, like, all of a sudden, your family has food but no car because your mom's a drug addict. That's kind of like what the economy is like. Yeah, that's literally like what the economy is like. So it's like, okay, if how come this stuff isn't happening? It's because something else has happened and people gotta do something else about that. And unfortunately, blah 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 blah. Okay. Anyway, moving on. If you are currently facing homelessness and eviction, you know what? I'm gonna include all those people who fucked up. Anyway, you guys might need this too. Okay, so if you need to find a place to live and you don't have enough money to purchase a home, renting is still technically homelessness. So anybody who has to deal with a landlord, you know what? Just keep in mind it's their legal property. So you're living under their roof. You're no longer living under your parents' roof for whatever reason. You wanted to gain financial independence and learn how to make it on your own. Called moving out. You're moving out from your parents' house. Just both socially and physically, and I'm gonna say metaphorically. Metaphorically, you are no longer depending on your parents for any of that. I mean, you can. Some people are allowed to do that because their parents are very wealthy, or they have good relationships, or like they don't have to worry about stuff when they're in their parents' house or whatever. Whatever the case may be, they are allowed to stay at their parents' house, right? Or they want to. Either of the two. They're allowed to stay there, and also they want to stay there. And or I think, yeah. If you don't want to stay in your parents' house because, let's face it, you are why is it less agreeable for people to stay with their parents than to rent their own unit? It's kind of because you are excessively incapable of moving out, which means that you can't, like, independence is important, and like Look, honestly, the only reason people say that is because we're talking to people who talking about this is what it means. People who've never moved out from their parents' house. Ever. They have never moved out from their parents' house ever in their entire life. And why is that bad? Because they don't know what it's like outside. They're unprepared for emergencies. And you know what? People who live at this homeless shelter, their parents know where they live. They've been actually actively calling them and saying that this person needs to stay there by making up a story. Saying, like, well, this is what the foster family that I was living with did. They made up an entire story about what Tiffany was guilty of. Said that it was me and called them and said that I have to live there now. And I'm like, I didn't go there because the police were involved and they were the ones who were actively hurting me. And they didn't understand this. I'm like, you assaulted me. I'm not gonna go anywhere where you're gonna be because you assaulted me. And then they thought that, well, what if he actually assaults you here in Toronto? And I'm like, I don't care. What do you expect me to do about it? Like, so you're gonna assault me in Aurora and then you're gonna come to Toronto and assault me and then I'm gonna die because you assaulted me. Right? That's your plan. Your plan is to assault me until I die or until I kill myself. Why? Because you want to kill yourself? You want to make a suicide pact with me? Because this is a Netflix series special, right? It's just weird. Like, that's what they're doing. They want to assault me. They want to, like, I'm just like, I don't care. I'm not going to figure any of that out for you. You fucking kill yourself if you want. I don't care. Literally, why would I care about anything you're doing in life? Do I look like a nurse to you? Literally, do I look like your doctor? Am I a doctor? Am I a nurse? No, I'm not neither of those things. So stop expecting me to behave that way for you because you wanted me to be that way. That's weird. That's literally harassment. Like, what is wrong with you? Yeah, that's called bullying. Oh my god, yeah, they don't know what bullying is. And I'm like, how do you not know what you're doing? Bullying is illegal. Like, how are you not understanding this? That's so weird. Anyway, yeah, if you don't have enough money to buy a house like me, I would say just like you have to utilize this is important when you have a legal defense. You can't do anything illegal the minute that you are convicted or if you're living under somebody else's roof. Kind of like if you're under lease, that's what I mean. If you're under contract or contractual lease agreement with a landlord, that's when you don't do anything illegal. But with your family members too. But like again, you don't have a contract with them. What you do have is the understanding of the legal system and the verbal agreements between the two of you or whoever of you between your family members to be able to live with each other, right? So just basic human decency. That's all that really takes. Basic human decency with each other. You already know that. That's why you guys can live with each other, right? You don't end up like trying to fight everybody or like just trying to steal from everyone, because that's what schizophrenics do. That's what's a parcel of schizophrenia. It's finding ways to con people out of their life savings is called schizophrenia. Yeah, that's what that is. Conning means like, oh, I'm gonna find a way to steal money directly out of their bank account and try to convince them that it's okay that I did that. Or like, I'm gonna find a way to like take their things in their room and then use it and tell everyone that it's my stuff. Yeah, that's called schizophrenia. That's literally schizophrenia. I was like, oh my god, are you schizophrenic? The cops are. That's what they think about my things all the time. I even told them, I'm like, you keep thinking my things are your things, even though you know it's not yours. It's just weird. And then I think maybe that's what like they were trying to make a racist joke about how I was East Asian and all East Asian parents want their kids to be lawyers or doctors or something. And they're like, oh, how's it feel not being able to achieve your parents' dreams? And I'm like, can you say that to me again? How do I feel about not achieving my parents' dreams? How does that feel for me when he thought I was gonna go on an actual date with him after he apologized and paid me back? Oh my god, that's hilarious, yo. I'm gonna die laughing. Okay, yeah, what you are you asking me how I feel about something that I had nothing to do with that didn't get completed? Why would I care? That's weird. What you do you care about how your parents feel about that kind of stuff? It's weird for you to assume everyone else is just like you. Like people learn that when they're 2 years old. Literally, when you first go to preschool or whatever, you're like, I know that I'm me, but you're you. This is. Did you not go to school? Like, were you homeschooled or something? What's wrong with you? And they think it's like they're being funny, and I'm like, no, you're literally being harmful. That's not funny. Because they don't know what jokes are, and they didn't know that people were laughing at them, not with them, and they didn't know that I didn't like them because of what they did, and they can't apologize for that kind of stuff. Because they still, in their heads, think that we're gonna work it out and everything's gonna be fine after. Because life is a movie. It's a Lifetime movie we're watching right now. It's just fucking weird. There's this guy online, I don't know who it is, but like it's off this website. I'll put a link in the description. And they keep like trying to like, I don't know, say that, convince me that this is like I should be offended because of a bunch of crazy people not understanding reality. I'm like, yeah, you sound like a schizophrenic, like a paranoid schizophrenic. Like this is weird. But anyway, if you are on the streets or whatever, you don't have enough money to buy a house or whatever, like me, or you do have enough money, but you currently can't find a place to live because you're a jackass piece of shit. You could be either. Like, oh, I can purchase a house right now, but none of the neighbors want me to live there because they already heard about what I did, and they don't know if, like, yeah, I'm gonna cause problems, I'm gonna get evicted and lose a lot of money that way. So you're gonna be wasting my money that way, so it's probably not a good idea. And also, oh shit, I don't have enough money because my parents are poor, or like, how the hell do you expect me to earn all that income on my own without any help as a person alone? That it sounds like an impossible task. You know, like the strip tasks or something. It doesn't seem right at all. Which is another reason why they're trying to target me, saying like this isn't right what's happening, and the only way we're all gonna get out of it, with the numerous crimes that we've committed. Oh, they got sentenced. Oh my god, I just realized something. Yeah, they committed a war crime, that's why they're getting electrocuted and death sentencing. And this is how crazy they are. They're trying to send all these army guys around me to say that they're fine, and I'm like, you're clearly not fine. I don't know why you're not getting your shit together after all that happened, but that's a bad sign. That's why I'm staying away from them. That's literally why I'm staying away. That right there. Staying away from the Canadian government. I'm not going near any of them. I haven't called them for help, even though they were directly involved. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing any of that shit. No thanks, unless you're gonna pay me for it. So that's that. Oh my god. Yeah, there's this guy named Fort Nude or whatever. He thought that I was gonna. I think he faked his name. He thought he made it up on his own. Like that's the crazy part. I'm like, you made your own name? Nobody gave you a name? That's so weird. Like no one gave you. You never had a nickname when you were a kid? Like a bunch of weirdos like trying to. That's weird. That's kind of sad actually. But anyway, yeah, I'm just like, you guys are insane. Like, you're legitimately insane. Oh my god, he thought I cared about her. Yo, the guy's an idiot. Literally, like, he has no brain. Like, where the hell did your brain go, bro? Like, did you leave it in, like, somebody else's head? But anyway, yeah, you know what? You have to go through all this stuff. Okay, so expect to get some of your stuff stolen. In the case that you don't want that happening to you, just do your best to try to afford a rental storage unit. Okay, save up save and get discounted products as much as you can. Trust me, you need that money if you are planning on purchasing property, or you need the money to last as long as it can before you. So yeah, I know you get all the money from like selling your house, but like don't spend any of it or whatever. Like I wouldn't really advise that kind of stuff. Like you can, but it's like, how are you gonna live after? Like, people are gonna use that as an excuse to try to charge you for a crime or sue you in the case that you're not actively doing something about looking for property. So let's say that you have enough money to purchase another house from the house that you sold. So you've specifically putting that aside and saying, I'm not going to spend any of this because this is how much it's going to cost. This is my budget for purchasing a new house in the neighborhood that I can buy at, right? Then you can use that as a defense. Oh, did I think I fuck. But if you're not doing that, then you can't, like, I mean, after that, like, you should be able to like have some money, a different category money that's set aside, so you're like, this is my spending thing. This is how much of money that I'm planning to spend, and this is how long that I'm planning for me to be on the streets, and that this is how long I'm expecting my house hunt to last. So I'm hunting for a housing property, a residential unit, and I'm expecting my hunt to last, I don't know, 6 months to 3 years, right? Like, at the very minimum, it's gonna take me 6 months to find a new place to live. So I'm gonna set aside 6 months worth of expenses and groceries so I can live. You don't have to stay in motels. I know people will try to convince you, but the reason that you don't have to stay in a motel is because, let's say, just say that it's because I'm expecting myself to take 3 to 5 years to find a housing unit, and the reason why I'm not renting is because I don't have the money for it. I have enough money to live off. This is the only money I have because I have nobody else helping me. For 3 to 5 years, I can't contact my family because they don't have any money or their money's already tied up, and I can't ask for them to house me because they're either renting or their neighbors are not gonna like it either, so they're gonna be out of a place to live. So I'm not gonna ask them if I can live there, right? And I can't crash at my friend's house because, again, the same situation, right? So now I'm gonna make sure that I have a place that I can live in for a long time. It could be anywhere, but I only have a certain amount of money left, and that is for everything, including if you have a car, insurance, gas, and everything else, including, like, I don't know, phone payments, if you need clothes, if you need to buy new clothes during that time, all that kind of stuff. I don't have the money for it. Then you have to go through the homeless shelters. I'm so sorry. If there's homeless housing help or something, you have to go there. You have to go through all of that, and then when it's all said and done, and you can't stay there either, because trust me, people who stay there are people who seriously fucked up everything in their life. That's where they stay. They have fucked up everything. Everything they turns into shit. Literally, like, I'm talking about, like, I'm trying to be friends with this person, but I accidentally stabbed that person, stole money from them, and got everyone to believe that this person was abusing me, not the other way around while all those crimes were happening. Oopsies! I'm so sorry. That was just some oopsies I made. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, those people are the homeless beggars you see on the street. They live in the homeless shelters. Wait, now that I think about it, that's literally what the cops were like. Huh. Super weird. Maybe they're homeless. I know they're homeless because they're bad people, and they're all bad. Every single one of them. Don't trust them. Don't trust the police, but try to avoid being harassed from them as much as possible. So anywhere you know the police are like if there's an area, like if they're following you, that's a different story, right? But I'm saying like if you're in an area and you know that cops live in the area or are frequenting that area's business, or they are like they just like I don't know, that's a cop area, police squad or whatever, then just stay away from it, right? Like you can't stop them from harassing you. Like don't be crazy. Literally, like if you are being harassed, you're not gonna be able to stop that person from harassing you until that person ends up in jail, gets a restraining order, and or probably get stabbed in prison, right? Because those are the annoying people. Apparently, you don't like annoying people in prison. But yeah. Well, they were crying, weren't they? So many people are crying because they did something stupid, and I'm like, yo, are you a baby? That's what I was talking about. Are you a baby? Babies do it all the time. Literally, like, are you a 6-month-old infant? Like, this is kind of weird. Super weird. I'm like, no one else thinks it's weird? I think I read this like article with some retard. I don't know how he learned how to read. He told everyone he's a lawyer when he's not. And he actually ended up like what did he do? He was like he didn't understand how people had sex or got married. Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, I don't understand how people get married. That's what he said. He's like, his entire article, I think it's called Max Tucker, right? So his entire thing, anyway, if you're currently, go through the homeless shelter stuff first. Literally, go through all of that, and then afterwards, you have to actually ask anybody you know the entire time. Ask people you know, ask anyone around you about housing and all that kind of stuff. You have to do that. Otherwise, they're gonna try to charge you for a crime and expect the cops to harass you the entire time. They're gonna try to arrest you. They're trying to convict you. All of those things are false. There's no actually. The reason why they're doing that is because they want you to believe that you're a prisoner or a criminal, and that way it's more likely that you will be making a mistake, or like if you believe that you're a criminal, then like like a self-fulfilling prophecy, you think you're a bad person, you start doing bad things to confirm those beliefs, and then you're just now who you thought you were the entire time. But anyway, they're doing that because it means there's something wrong with the economy and they didn't do something right, which is why this situation happened and they didn't know what they were doing. They're being irresponsible and they thought they weren't like that. So it's a personal thing that they have that they're experiencing, but they're taking out on other people who have nothing to do with that. Okay, the fact that if you're in my situation that I'm in, it means they fucked up. Yeah, they fucked up, and now it's their responsibility to make everyone else happy, because this is how they think they're gonna solve this. Is if I like if somebody like you or me gets sent to prison, that means that they were confirming their suspicions all along, and thus like because of that, one prison sentence is gonna fuck up your ability to defend yourself in the future, or like anything related to that charge. So that means that oh well now blah 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 la 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 la. I don't know what they say, honestly. I like fall asleep half the time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah. So they're like, they're. This is their logic. Oh fuck, we fucked up. Blame it on her. Send her to prison, and case closed. Shine closed. Sprinkle some crack on her. We're done. Like, Dave Chappelle's comedy skit. That's literally what they're doing. I was like, what? You're just gonna try to force this person to believe that they're a criminal, and then that person's gonna be doing criminal activities because now they believe that they're criminals, and then after that, you can all get away with it scot free. That sounds like a fucking. What is that? Like the Three Stooges? That's literally the Three Stooges. What is that? That's literally what they're doing. I'm just like, that's why they're attacking me or targeting me and harassing me, because they're like, yeah, it's because like we fucked up and we can't have this, and you have to go to prison for us because we care about you and we're friends now. And I'm like, what? Yeah, they're crazy. Like, do you hear stuff? So you're saying that I need to throw away my life for you because why? Because you told me to? Oh, you have to go down. Because you want to continue being alive. And I should die. And if I die, then everyone gets to keep my stuff. That's not even their stuff. Because that's how people acquire property. Oh, from the bus. Yeah, but how did you pay? So I need to die and go to prison because you did something illegal. That's literally the homeless shelter. But everyone that I've met so far was like that, and I'm like, are you all homeless or something? The actual true meaning of homeless is somebody without any place in society. So there's literally no point of their life. Like, no, any place as in, like, they don't matter. There's no value to having that person in society. That's a homeless person. They're valueless people. That's the true meaning of homeless. A person with no value. Nothing intrinsic or physical value. So, like, they don't possess good personality traits that will be passed on. They're not physically healthy. They're not very smart. They don't have anything other people can use with for them. Like, that's a valueless person. Those are homeless people. People with value aren't homeless, unfortunately. But technically, anybody who doesn't have a property, a legal right to residential property, is considered homeless. So if you're renting, technically not considered homeless because you do have legal rights to a property that is residential. So technically not homeless under the legal system. But in the real meaning of things, you are homeless if you have no purpose or value to other people. I'm sorry, you don't live on a planet where you're the only person that exists. But that doesn't mean that you have to lay your life down for other people. That makes no sense. There's also the other definition of a homeless, which is what most people talk about, which is somebody who did have things, but they sold all their valuables, like the drug addict, and they fucked up all their relationship, and now they don't have anyone else to turn to, and have problems because of it. So that's the other definition of homeless. There's three definitions. The true definition is a person with no place in society. But you should be worried if you have nowhere to sleep, like no legal rights to property. And you should be worried if you have no legal, like, if you used to have all those things and you sold it for money, and nobody wants to help you up after. Like, those three are homeless, basically. It means the same. Their cost is too much. They cost so much money for them to be alive. Literally, like, they're putting them in a place in society is gonna cost more money than they make or they're worth. If that makes sense. It's like, okay, so if I'm friends with you, there's no benefit for me to be friends with you. I don't enjoy your company, we don't like the same things, and you continually do your thing, do whatever you can to make sure that my life is going terribly. And then what? Like, and then what? And not only that, but you're poor because of it. and I'm supposed to put all my money and effort in trying to make you a decent person so we can be friends. No, you're supposed to do that with other people that you hire as such as a life coach. So then you get to a place where you can make friends, and then afterwards you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff again anymore, ever, your entire life. Yeah, this is kind of what the whole thing is for. Anyway, yeah, you have to go through the homeless shelters regardless of whatever situation you're in. And you have to do your best to try to find property if you have money saved up, or a job if you don't. So you actually have to go out of your way to find a job, kind of. But if it's continually consistent with method of people not finding giving you a job, then like yeah, that's really not on you. Yeah. I can't believe the way people are treating me. It's weird. What, because you stole from me and you think this is how people get legal rights over stuff? That's not how. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Whatever you think of acquiring things illegally, it's not possible. That's not how people acquire things at all. Like, you know, the people who acquire things by screwing other people over, technically they did have rights to it. They just didn't want you to also have rights to it, so that's what they did. Okay, if you have no rights to it to begin with, it's not gonna work. Like, it's not something that, like, I don't know how to say it. Like, okay, you had no rights to the things legally or financially or otherwise. Like, this isn't. You have no legal rights over it. But if you did have legal rights over it, then yeah, you can screw people out of their legal rights over the same thing. You shouldn't be doing that. That's called being a parasite, right? That's what that is. You're being a piece of shit and you're being a parasite. It's really crappy what you're doing. But you can't do that. It's different if that person did something to you that's negatively impacted you. So let's say two people have legal rights over the same thing, but one of them has either assaulted another person or stolen from that person. Right, one of them. So that person who got assaulted or had stuff stolen from screwed the other person out of their legal rights over something. That's not really being a. That's not being. That's the only time you're allowed to do that. Yeah, that's when you should be doing that kind of stuff. So if let's say this is my computer currently, my laptop, but then like there's another guy who has legal rights over it, but that guy's like punched me and raped me and stole like $20 from my wallet. But we both have legal rights to this computer, right? And now I'm gonna screw him out of his legal rights by reporting that incident and saying that he can't be near me because of all those things, and there's evidence of those things, and based on his past history of behavior, and if he ever gets tested psychologically, it's gonna be very obvious. That's enough evidence in court to convict somebody based on your personality traits, your schematic. So there's three types of personality tests that one's gonna be IQ, one's gonna be the standard personality inventory, and the other one's gonna be just to measure the what's it called? Like it measures the Machiavellian traits, or like the likelihood of somebody's it's a psychopathy test. There's gonna be a psychopathy test. There's gonna be the personality inventory, and there's gonna be an IQ test administered to that person to test if everything's fine. If anything shows up that suggests anything, such as high IQ and high psychopathy, there's enough for them to just be like, okay, you're the guilty one. That's it. That's all they need. Literally, like, if you ever do that and you're like pretty much screwed, because that's what that is, that means that you're going to be able to, oh my god, what? That's so weird. I didn't know that's like that. But yeah, that's like, you know, what do you think people are gonna do? Like, oh, blah 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 blah. I'm just like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you idiots doing? What, you can't screw somebody out of something that you have nothing to do with, but it's their thing. Unless you think everything in life is yours and you can just like you have so much authority over everyone because you're such a special and valuable person. There's no one else like you out there, and everyone it owes you something. You're just gonna screw everyone out of everything. It's impossible. Like literally, you're delusional if you think that's true. But that's happening is currently. So you can't screw people out of their legal stuff if you have no legal rights over it. I just thought that was very simple 101. Like, oh yeah, the cops are handicapped. They don't know this. They don't know that they're mentally handicapped. Look, honestly, just don't. Yeah, oh, I was gonna talk about Max Tucker. Okay, Max Tucker's thing. Yeah, he didn't understand how a relationship worked. He thought porn was sex. And also, he like he said something like people get into relationships because they don't understand that like they're just gonna get anyone to do that job. Just what, you're just not worth really that much, okay? And I'm like, did he get fired or something and he just never got over it, the fact that he fucked up and they fired him? Like, just did you think he owned the place or something? That's what that reads. Like, I don't think he understood what relationships are because he thought he owned everything and everyone and he was very entitled. No, he felt like he was entitled to everything in life. He thought it was his God-given right to have access to those things, and if somebody said no, that means they're infringing on his rights to live as a human being. And I'm like, what? Are you a psychopath or something? It sounds like a psychopath. That is a psychopath. No, you fucking loser. You have rights to things that you have rights over. If you don't understand how socialization schematics and the legal system, how you don't understand how that works, that's not anyone else's fault but yours. You're not as good as other people, thus what? Everyone needs to feel the pain of you not being as good as other people? That makes no fucking sense. I get that there are better people than you out there and you don't feel very valued in society, but that doesn't mean that people are gonna automatically start killing you off or trying to ruin your life. That's that kind of stuff that you're experiencing, most people experience in their lifetime. This is not specifically you. It's just weird that you think that like you deserve entitlement over everything, otherwise your life is meaningless and worthless. Like you need to be over, like you have to have authority over everyone and everyone thinks it's technically your thing. Mi casa es su casa. Yeah, that's your entire life with everyone, right? Like, are you insane? You must be a crazy person. That's what I think. Also, I forgot there's two types of Portuguese. There's Brazilian Portuguese and there's regular Portuguese. Wow. Yeah, in Brazil they don't speak Portuguese, they speak Brazilian Portuguese. And somebody told me a funny joke about the Brazilians, they'll start working when the Jesus statue claps. And I was like, that's so funny. He was calling them lazy. Oh my god, I was like, that's so funny. That's such an American stereotype.